Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we got a big week ahead for the entire crypto industry. First up, everyone is paying attention to the Bitcoin chart because we're all waiting for Bitcoin to find its bottom if it hasn't already, and to start that reversal where we see that slow, steady grind out of the pullout, and then we'll build some support levels and start moving up and start going parabolic again. So this could play out over the summer. So we have to be mentally prepared for that we're not going to see any new all-time highs soon, but it could happen sooner. This market moves very different from anything else out there, and none of us have a crystal ball, but we look at the different indicators and metrics to get an idea of where we're at, to form a thesis, as I always say. And none of the major macro bull market signals have flagged that we have hit the top. In addition, we haven't had any major invalidation of the bull market despite this pullback. And as I've been saying for a while now, we've seen deeper pullbacks going back to 2017 and so forth. This is nothing. And we saw a similar pattern play out last year in August of 2023. So we have to be patient. And like I said, all eyes are on Bitcoin to see what it's going to do next, because Bitcoin is the rising tide that lifts all boats. The market moves with Bitcoin. What's interesting also is the DXY, the dollar currency index, continues to break downwards. Usually you don't see these things happening in parallel, risk assets crashing as well as the dollar crashing. So one of them is going to do a reversal soon. And I believe it is Bitcoin and crypto. Now, I could be wrong because, once again, I don't have a crystal ball, but based on my research and what the different factors and things are telling us is that Bitcoin is near its bottom and the DXY was due for its collapse, which we've been talking about for months. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that this is the scenario that plays out, because we're talking about probabilities here, not certainties, and we'll have to adjust our strategies accordingly as the facts change and the data changes from day to day. Now, another important metric that we've been following for a while is the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Going back to March, we were in a epic greed zone, right? People were so greedy. People were starting to feel a bit euphoric because Bitcoin hit a new all-time high before the halving. The Bitcoin ETF inflows were incredible, big names involved and so forth. So people almost had the idea that, oh, the ETFs are here. It will never correct. It will always keep going up in a straight line. That's not possible. Markets don't work that way. And this is why you have to dollar cost average in. And when we're hitting near the top, you dollar cost average out. You take the profits off the table, because the bull market doesn't last forever. And look, bear markets don't last forever, but you want to walk away with money in your pocket. So the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index right now is at a 28. That's very bullish in a bull market. So I'm excited seeing that we're in this zone. We're hanging out here. Bitcoin is almost near its bottom. I think if it hasn't hit it already, at the time of recording, it's below $55,000. So let's be patient. Let's see what happens this week. Now, one item I actually forgot to mention here is that whales are buying the dip. So Hunter Horsley of Bitwise Asset Management highlighted on July 5th, which was Friday, that they had $30 million of inflows into their Bitcoin ETF. Earlier in the week, they had a day of $40 million. So smart money is buying the dip. And even James Seifert of Bloomberg said Bitcoin ETFs doing the exact opposite of dumping in the first 20% drawdown since launch. So of course, naturally, you're going to have a rebalancing of the ETFs and people's portfolios. But whales, and this is where you want to follow the data, are accumulating these dips. I'm personally buying the dip. I'm not buying the dip for Bitcoin because, as I've stated many times, I bought Bitcoin when we were at that $16,000, $17,000, $18,000 range in December 2022. What I am buying is altcoins. My Bitcoin bags are full right now, and I don't plan to put any extra money in there because I believe altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. That is not to say you can't make money with Bitcoin, obviously, but this is where diversification is important. Altcoins are obviously more riskier than Bitcoin. And recently I expanded my Solana holdings significantly, given the major things they've launched. And I'm going to continue to buy Solana and some other alts as well, some AI themed tokens. So excited, guys, for the continuation of this bull market. Now, we got some very big crypto regulation type news here for this week. Eleanor Terry of Fox Business is reporting some notable events in Washington for crypto peeps to keep an eye on this week. Wednesday, there will be the Senate Agriculture Committee's oversight of digital commodities hearing with CFTC Chairman Rostin Benham at 10 a.m. Ro Khanna's Democrat Crypto Roundtable with Mark Cuban and White House Biden administration folks and industry leaders. That's going to be taking place on Wednesday as well. We got Thursday, a Senate hearing for Biden's renomination of SEC Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw and new FDIC nominee for chair Christy Goldsmith Romero, who's currently a CFTC commissioner. Also, Kristen Johnson to be an assistant secretary of U.S. Treasury, and Gordon Ito to be a member of the Financial Stability Oversight Council. Eleanor says, expect some questions on agencies' approaches to digital assets in this hearing. She also highlighted that there's a possible House vote to overturn Biden's SAB 121 repeal veto on Thursday or Wednesday. She said they would need a 2/3 majority on it. I think this is highly possible because we saw many Democrats join their Republican colleagues to pass SAB 121 in the House and the Senate and to pass the FIT 21 bill. So could they override Biden here? I think so, because this is not some massive public issue which the average Joe and Jay know about. Because we know, there's the whole party lines thing. Many of the Democrats don't want to appear like they're against Biden. You guys know how it all works. But this is such a niche issue specific to the crypto industry that even if they join their Republican colleagues, you walk on the street and ask someone, hey, do you know what SAB 121 is? They have no idea, right? So I really think that this could get overruled, but we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully it does, because this is a major item that many Democrats recognize shouldn't be a partisan issue, but just Elizabeth Warren is the one pulling Biden's strings here. She's the anti-crypto army leader, right, guys? But she's going to lose. She's on the losing side of history. Now, guys, some details here about the SEC, which makes my blood boil. Apparently, the SEC has spent $102 million on office moves in the last 3 years. $102 million for moving. I mean, this hashtag fire Gary Gensler. Like, this scumbag guy needs to be kicked out. This is pathetic. And he's been asking for more money. I mean, come on, man. Unbelievable. One user here, Daniel Sempre Pico, said, meanwhile, their budget request to Congress has increased by $400 million, and every year they also claim to need to add a few hundred more employees to their headcount. They're now at over 5,000 employees. This is big government for you folks. It's not an SEC specific issue. We know the SEC is run by a scumbag regulator, Gary Gensler, who needs to be kicked out of there. But it's a big government agency where we've seen that many of these agencies have gone rogue. They become drunk on their own power, right? And they become political and corrupt and so forth. And obviously a clear example of that is the SEC. So this is wild. Ryan Selkis of Messari, he tweeted out the following today. He said, good morning. I've declared independence from the SEC and its corrupt chair, Gary Gensler. In the months ahead, Messari will be operationalizing a war against this illegitimate and corrupt agency. The draft below will be polished, improved, and sent to the SEC and Congress. So the letter he put together, it's titled Messari in 2024, Declaring Independence from the SEC. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing. You guys can go check it out. But the TLDR here is they're going after the SEC. They listed a bunch of reasons and all the nonsense that's been going on. They said Messari will no longer engage with the SEC in any formal or informal capacities until it is reformed and its leadership changed. We now treat the agency as a hostile adversary, competitor, and superfluous federal regulator. Wow. This is interesting, and I hope more people follow. Sometimes these things are just about optics, but that's part of the game, right? Yes, there's the actual rubber hitting the road and getting things done and what actually happens. A lot of this is narratives and optics. Look at Elizabeth Warren, anti-crypto army. She says all these nasty things about the industry. Same thing with Gary Gensler, right? He says like, all these crypto CEOs are going to jail. Really? They paint the industry with a broad stroke, right? So we got to fight back and we got to play the optics game as well. So I give credit to Ryan here, even if this doesn't pan out to do anything. it just puts a line in the sand. It puts a counter argument to Gary's narratives, his false narratives, and so forth. And I love that the crypto industry is suing the SEC. They're countersuing, taking them to court. And this is, I think, why Congress and the Senate are going to be forced to push regulations too, because eventually this is going to boil over to madness, right? Industry suing the SEC suing them. Against are getting called out by massive companies, and this is why Congress needs to act, because it's becoming messy. Now, guys, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer one enterprise blockchains out there. They're getting huge adoption from different enterprises globally. Enterprises are using them for Web3 applications, decentralized applications, and sustainability projects. Some of the companies working with VeChain include Givenchy, BMW, Boston Consulting Group, and many big names, guys. VeChain's blockchain has some incredible attributes. It's secure, it's affordable, it's scalable, it's fast and sustainable. I've been a VET token holder for years. I'm very bullish on this project. So if you'd like to learn more about VeChain, check out the link in the description or go to vechain.org. Now, guys, we are waiting for the SEC to approve the Ethereum spot ETFs. We know it's 50% done. The 19B-4s are approved. We just need the S-1s to be approved for these ETFs to go live. Many are anticipating the middle of July or to the latter half, but I'm hoping it's the middle, and that could be a catalyst for the market to bounce. Nate Geraci of the ETF store said the spot ETH ETF S-1 amendments supposedly due tomorrow. So talking about Monday, July 8th. How quickly will the SEC turn these around? Again, main item I'm watching for is fees, which won't be required with these amendments. Otherwise, assume issuers gearing up for a launch in next week or two. Very interesting. Once again, this could be a catalyst to give the market a reversal, getting these ETFs live. Now, guys, we got a report here that Web3 users hit 10 million in Q2 of this year, and MetaMask to enhance security, finance redefined. So we've often talked about how do we bring in the next billion users to Web3 and crypto. And I've often stated that we need to make it as easy as the Web2 applications, where it's a one-click, very easy, where your mom or your grandma can do it, right? Like logging into Facebook or whatever it is, right? It has to look and feel a bit like the Web2 apps, although the behind the scenes infrastructure is Web3. And don't get me wrong, some of the interfaces need to be upgraded, right? The user experience needs to be upgraded, but we need to make it that easy. And we're getting there. This technology is actually getting faster adoption than the internet did. And that's, of course, because we're building on a much more advanced and faster infrastructure. People have smartphones in addition to laptops and so forth. It's been decades, of course, since the internet launched. So you had that time, that runway for people to be able to learn this technology and go through all their trial and errors and all these things and figure out how they want to use it. So let me give you the details here. This past week in DeFi saw Web3 users reach a new all-time high of 10 million in the second quarter, and Consensus has integrated Wallet Guard to boost MetaMask security. The integration will involve the Wallet Guard team joining the MetaMask product safety team to ensure a smooth transition. According to a July 4th report from blockchain analytics platform DappRadar, the number of users using Web3 applications reached a record high in the second quarter. The number of daily unique active wallets was approximately 10 million over the course of the quarter, a 40% increase from the first quarter and the highest number ever reached. According to the report, and this is a quote, each sector of the decentralized application industry has experienced notable growth, contributing to overall bullish trajectory. This is great news, guys, very bullish, but just the tip of the iceberg. We need a billion. And then I think that would put us in the mass adoption category. And then when you think about, this asset class and technology, it is truly global. It is not specific to the United States and so forth. Like, let's say the dot-com boom where the internet was primarily adopted in the United States, then eventually the rest of the world. This thing is happening globally in many jurisdictions and countries. So I'm very excited, folks. And this is why I've often talked about future bull markets. Yes, I'm here to make money in this bull market, but I also have my strategy of buying the dip come 2026, 2027, and so forth, and then wait for the next bull markets in 2028, which is the next Bitcoin halving. So I'm looking at this from the macro. I hope you are as well. Now, on that note of adoption, we got a report here that Solana has impacted Africa's crypto market maturity, says an exchange executive. So I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name, Oladuntun Wilfred Akambe, the chief marketing officer at FlynnCap, a platform for African over-the-counter crypto exchanges, has highlighted the crypto industry's remarkable growth and maturity, focusing mainly on Solana's resilience and community efforts in Africa. He told Cointelegraph that the crypto industry is steadily maturing, demonstrating its ability to withstand various challenges that would have previously triggered a market downturn. He stated the strength and adoption of any technology heavily dependent on the vigor of its community. Crypto projects' continuous focus on solving community problems, particularly in remittances and international payments, indicates positive year-over-year growth. Here's a quote: with the kind of communities built around several crypto projects, we're closer to mainstream adoption than ever. His sentiment follows a recent series of Solana All-Stars Nigeria community meetups in different parts of Nigeria, showcasing Solana's thriving community in Africa. So, to my point that I said earlier, this is a truly global asset class. Never in the history have we had a truly global asset class. I know some people would say, what about gold? Yeah, but you can't see the supply of gold real time. You can't move over the internet, move gold like that, obviously. And many of these cryptocurrencies are hard cap, like Bitcoin is hard cap. You can't continue to mine more after it's done. And if it's lost, it is lost. And all of these things contribute to higher value and so forth. So this is why over the years, despite the challenges we face in the United States with the SEC, I was a big believer in this technology and so bullish because I'm like, this thing is running on the internet. So you could be in any part of the world if you're connected to the internet. And a majority of people are. Even in developing countries, people have smartphones now, and they pretty much do a lot of stuff through smartphones. So crypto is easily accessible that way. So I'm very bullish on this, and it's obviously the next layer on the internet. It is the future. And despite what clowns like Gary Gensler and some Elizabeth Warren, whatever roadblocks they try to put up, they're going to get steamrolled, right? They're not going to be able to stop this. The genie's out the bottle. The train is out the station. They can annoy us and slow us down a little bit, but they're not stopping this train, guys. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in digital and paperback. Grab a copy to support the podcast. Grab a couple copies for your friends and family who want to learn about this technology and asset class. It includes tips for investing in crypto. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review. It would really help me out for as far as my rankings. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you all later.